Hello everyone. Guys, what happens when the capital city of the United States, home to the White House, Congress, and every symbol of American democracy, suddenly loses the control over its own police force? When the president calls in the National Guard, takes direct command, and the local mayor is only left to manage without the real authority. So, guys, that's not a hypothetical condition. It's happening right now in Washington, D.C., and the person in the middle of it all is Mayor Muriel Bowser, who until recently was known for her public clashes with Donald Trump, but is now taking a far more complicated, cautious tone. Some call it a strategy, and others call it a survival. So, guys, let's break it down. What exactly happening? Washington D.C. is not a state, it's a quirk of the US Constitution, a federal district where the mayor and city council can govern, but only up to a point. Since 1973, Congress has allowed DC residents to elect their own mayor and council members, but ultimate power over the city still rests with the Congress and the president. So, DC doesn't have voting members in the House or Senate, and the president can, under certain conditions, take direct control of law enforcement. In other words, home rule exists, but it's fragile. Muriel Bowser known this better than anyone. During Trump's first term, she famously had Black Lives Matter painted in giant yellow letters on a street leading to the White House. But she also quietly removed the lettering letter under the Republican pressure, saying these were bigger fights to focus on, especially with looming federal job cuts that hit her city's economy. So, guys, what is happening now? Fast forward to Trump's second term. Crimes in DC, like in many major cities, is under constant political spotlight. Trump's response was to federalize the police, deploy the National Guard, and bring in more federal law enforcement. Bowser's first public reaction was careful, calling it as unsettling and unprecedented, but stopping short of directly attacking Trump. She even admitted that extra police presence in neighborhoods may be positive, but in a private virtual meeting with the community leaders, her tone shifted. She urged residents to protect the city's autonomy, to fight for a democratic house as a backstop to this authoritarian push, and to get to the other side of this guy. That's a sharper, more partisan message than the one she gave in front of the cameras. And that's the balancing act. One day she is measured and diplomatic, the next she is rallying her political base. She told reporters she doesn't have the legal authority to block Trump's plan. She told community members this is a fight for the city's soul. And she told the press simply, I am the mayor, he is the president. We will keep doing our job. So, guys, how long this could last? The short answer is as long as Trump wants it, DC has no real veto power here. If the president decides federal control is necessary, it stays until the White House says otherwise. That could be weeks, months, even years, especially if the administration frames it as the ongoing fight against the crime. And with the 2030 midterms still far off, there is no immediate political deadline to force a change. So, guys, what's next? You can expect two parallel battles. First, the legal and procedural one. Activists pushing for DC statehood will use this movement to argue. See, this is why we can't be under federal thumb forever. Secondly, the political one. Bowser will try to avoid giving Trump ammunition while also signaling to her supporters that she hasn't gone soft. The danger for her is that either side could turn on her. If she is too combative, Trump could escalate. And if she is too cautious, her own base could call her weak. Meanwhile, on the ground, the National Guard and federal police will be visible, daily reminder that the city isn't fully in charge of itself. That has a psychological effect on residents, on local leaders, and on the perception of DC around the country. So, guys, what do I think on this? This is bigger than the Bowser versus Trump. This is about a flaw built into America's capital city, one that leaves 7 lakh residents without the same rights as the rest of the country. Bowser is playing a chess game whether the other side owns the board. That's why her tone changes as per the situation. And in public, she is keeping the temperature down to avoid provoking more federal intervention. And in private, she is firing up allies to resist against Trump. But guys, here is the risk. Authoritarianism doesn't always arrive with the tanks in the street. Sometimes it comes dressed as help, wrapped in the language of safety and law and order. And when people get used to federal troops patrolling neighborhoods, it becomes normal. That's the real danger, not just the immediate power shift, but the precedent it sets for any future president to step in and run the city as they see fit. If DC were a state, this would be a negotiation between equals, but it's not. And until that changes, mayors like Bowser will always be playing defense. She can try to navigate, but the steering wheel is in someone else's hands. And if you think this can't happen elsewhere, remember emergencies have a way of stretching the limits of executive power far beyond the original justification. So, guys, here is the bottom line. This movement is a stress test for DC's so called home rule and for Bowser's political instincts. Will she be remembered as the mayor who quietly kept the city functioning under the federal takeover, or as the one who drew a clear line and fought back against the higher administration? The answer may depend less on her and more on how long Trump decides to keep his hand on the city's steering wheel. And while the politicians play their game, the people of DC with no voting power in Congress are left as passengers in their own home. So guys, thank you for tuning in and being with me till end of the video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Do let me know what do you think on this Trump's move and Bowser's political aggression. And if you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for such amazing deep dives and daily current affairs. Bye.